Hello everyone, this is Boricua Binks and welcome back to Let's Play the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, where we will be continuing on in the 5th case of the game, The Adventure of the Unspeakable Story. And we're still in the trial. And this case is gonna take forever, isn't it? Alright, last time we thought we were doing well, but it looks like what we said has a flaw. Huh. Well, I guess we'll see. Because you see, it contains a fatal flaw.
A fatal flaw?
Do you mean to tell me that you're unaware of your logic's failing?
I say, Lord Von Zeeks, might be an idea to explain this Bali conjuring trick or whatever it is to the troops on the ground, huh?
The fatal flaw in my learned friend's argument is really very simple to understand. Oh, there he goes. Assuming you're not too dim-witted to count bullets. Okay, yeah, I see where he's going with this. But it's a flaw for now until we figure out, you know, maybe... Do we have to investigate more? I hope not. Huh.
By George, count bullets!
Oh dear. He noticed then. Huh? What's everyone talking about?
You didn't notice? Oh boy. Counsel.
Yes, sir.
Tell the court how many bullets were found at the scene of the crime. But that just means that someone is walking around with a bullet still inside them, right? Because the one that went through Sherlock was the one that hit the calendar, right? And then I'm sure they found the bullet that hit Windibank. So there's another bullet. And it has to be... Oh my god, we're pulling like a Manfred von Karma here, that it must be still in his body.
Two bullets.
Correct. The first, that which hit the victim in the back, ending his life. And the second, that which struck the detective, Mr. Sherlock Holmes, on his arrival at the scene.
Indeed. The defense presented a picture showing the damage caused by the second bullet earlier in the proceedings.
Yeah.
The bullet which injured Mr. Holmes appears to have passed through his body to strike the calendar.
Your lordship's understanding is correct. Furthermore, we know there are 2 firearms involved in the incident. There has to be another one, okay? The revolver belonging to the victim, Mr. Windibank, and the Skoken brothers' revolver. The evidence shows that a single bullet was fired from each gun.
Yes, indeed it does. A single bullet from each.
Now then, my learned friend. You yourself told the court only moments ago that these 2 brothers shot Mr. Sherlock Holmes right before your eyes.
Yes, I did.
Oh my goodness, I think you'll find
That if the single bullet that was fired from the brother's gun hits Mr. Holmes, it means...
Windibank not shot by same gun. Stop. Only 1 bullet. Stop. Exactly. Yes, this Nipponese street performer presented an ostensibly credible argument. However, it was never anything more than a diversionary trick with no hope of standing up to scrutiny. Yeah, we need to find out how can we prove that there was another person with another gun.
Order, order, order.
And where did they go? does that. Like, sir, you know you could be hitting someone back there. He's like, I don't give a damn. And then his apologies clearly don't matter. Pray forgive the discourtesy of flinging the dregs of this hallowed nectar into the public gallery.
Lord Von Zeeks, will you stop killing our audience?
Because one of the glass shards could, like, hit an artery and the person just bleed out right there and then. But this court needs to open its eyes. The accused, Miss Gina Lestrade, is no ordinary little girl. Despite her young years, she can regrettably no longer be described as a juvenile. No, the person in the dock is far from a law-abiding citizen. She has a past riddled with criminal conduct. Oh boy. The truth is, the accused broke into the pawnbrokery on the night in question with loathsome intent. As we can see beyond doubt in this print, which depicts her threatening the victim with the murder weapon. Oh boy. Uh-oh. Oh, here we go. I was wondering when this would come up. And I have here in my possession one more piece of evidence the prosecution wishes to present.
That desk.
Yeah. Taken, yeah, to the yard. She's like, no, it's mine. Sorry, miss. Belonging to McGilda has to be taken in as evidence.
Yes, that music box disc. McGilded's music box disc.
The very day before the hateful murder of Mr. Winterbank, the accused attempted to make off with this article, which clearly doesn't belong to her. And with none of the subtlety of a pickpocket, I might add, but by brute force and brazen impudence.
Good gracious.
Make no mistake, any sympathy for the accused on account of her years is misguided and dangerous. There are no depths to which this girl would not stoop if pushed. No crime she would not commit. The court forgets that fact at its peril. Oh no, I think we're gonna get another guilty verdict and another summation. Oh boy.
Ah, I see. I think it would be prudent to take this music box disc into evidence, counsel. As a green testament to the defendant's character. Oh my god.
Oh, I never heard you sound like that. Whoa, Gregson, what happened, bro?
Lord Von Zeeks,
His voice was much higher pitched than I thought it would be.
Inspector Gregson. What?
Yes, Inspector. We had a meeting yesterday at the yard with the prosecution service, and, I think it was agreed that that disc wouldn't be used as evidence.
Oh? Now, I am suspicious. Why? Why are you guys trying to hide this disc? There's some kind of conspiracy or cover-up going on here, and I don't like it. I'm glad to see that Von Zeeks is not part of it, though.
What's this all about? Why is the inspector acting strangely? That's the first time he said anything to Van Zeeks at all.
I am unaware of any such meeting. But those were the instructions right from the top. The government bigwigs were insistent. Inspector, I am the prosecutor, and I alone determine how to present my case. Your warning is noted. Thank you.
Oh boy.
The prosecution wishes to proceed with submitting this disc as evidence, my lord.
Indeed. Bailiff. Oh, this might be above my pay grade too.
All right. Interesting. I'm kind of... Let me... Now that we have it again, is there something else we can do with this? Because did we get a chance to do the blood on this?
Oh, Reno, look! This is blood! Yes, you're right.
And we know it belongs to Benedict, so I think this is good because now we can do the analyzing thing and determine his blood's color.
Just a small smear, but definitely blood. Actually, I feel as though I might have noticed that before.
Haha! Then it's my time to shine again. I thought I'd be waiting forever. Alright, hold still with that disc, Bruno.
Can we get this done quickly, Iris?
In a flash.
Okay. And what color? Wait, green? Oh, okay, okay. Okay. This just changed everything, y'all. Hold on. Green, like what's on the calendar. So... Huh. So Benedict got shot? And he must have been out in that area for him to get shot. Who shot him then? Did Windibank shoot him? Had to have been, right? And then the Skulkin brothers shot Sherlock. So does that mean Sherlock still has a bullet inside him? Because they didn't find it. So Sherlock's blood, we haven't seen the color of his yet then. Interesting. Okay, okay.
Oh, a lovely bright shade again.
Yep.
Wait, that color.
What is it?
It's just that green. It's not the first time we've seen that color, is it?
Yes, here we go. Okay, okay. How are we gonna do this? Now that we found this. The prosecution has established the accused's motive, opportunity, and baseness of character. There is nothing more to add. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I await your informed decisions and rest my case. Okay. Yeah, so we're gonna have another jury thing. Come on, speak up. We looked at the blood. Come on.
I don't believe it. I had the jury on my side for once, for all of 5 minutes.
Oh dear, it wasn't even for 5 minutes, Bruno.
My lord.
Oh, my lord. Wonder if I might say something at this point.
Proceed, Mr. Foreman.
Been stumbling about in a bit of a fog up to now, if truth be told, but all of a sudden... The answer's bally obvious to me and my men. There's only one thing for it.
Oh no. Very well, the court will hear from the jury. Ladies and gentlemen, you will present your leanings as to the defendant's culpability.
Guilty.
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 Love it. Oh boy.
We have a consensus among the jury, it seems.
When you have eliminated the possible, whatever remains must be the truth.
How dare you? That is Sherlock's line, sir. How dare you? Sherlock, come up in here and stop this man.
That's my line. I wrote that. For Shirley.
He must be a secret fanboy. Is he a secret fanboy? Is he like a how Edgeworth is in regards to the Steel Samurai? That would be actually really cute and really funny if that turned out to be true. I kind of hope so. I hope Sherlock shows up and that we see a little glimpse, a little chink in his armor, and he's like, "Oh, Mr. Holmes, oh, I'm a big fan of yours." Oh, I would love that. Please, please let that happen.
Ah, how dare he use it against us?
Don't worry, Iris. I don't think we're finished yet. There's still more to this case than we realize.
Especially since we just saw that blood now.
There must be, because there's one thing that I'm absolutely certain of. Gina didn't shoot Mr. Windibank. That's beyond any doubt.
Okay.
Very well. We will proceed with the second summation examination of the day. I don't even have to ask.
He doesn't even have to ask. He just knows. He's like, okay, let's just get this over and done with.
Mr. Foreman, are you and the jurors ready?
Your damn squadron is primed and ready for action, sir.
Very good. So, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you will each explain on what grounds you have now determined the defendant to be guilty.
Alright. Okay.
Once a rogue, always a rogue, I say, huh? Different breed to us law-abiding citizens.
As only 2 bullets were found at the scene, I would say the whole case is done and dusted.
You don't need a stereoscope to see the truth here. Every which way you look at it, it was that pickpocket.
I never imagined that simple operation would cause me such grief.
See, now I'm thinking... This doctor, this surgeon, I think he's a surgeon. At first I thought he was referring to Sherlock, right? Now I'm thinking he might have been the one who had to treat Benedict after he got shot. So that's interesting. Oh, coincidences. You gotta love it, right?
The accused attempted a theft on the previous day. I can see I'm in for a busy day ahead. I am ballistics expert. I have seen many shootings. There is nothing I do not know about guns.
Okay, that might come in handy.
It would seem there is little remaining room for doubt.
Have to admit I was rather bowled over by the argument put forward by the chap in black. But when that fell apart like a house of cards, I saw that I'd jolly well been hoodwinked. Well, no more!
The whole courtroom is turning against me, as usual.
It's not fair.
Iris?
That prosecutor's being mean.
Iris, she's usually very calm and mature, but right now she's showing her age. It's kind of cute.
Just because Ginny's done something she shouldn't have done in the past, that doesn't make her a murderer.
It's like, cry all you want, little girl. I don't care. Allow me to savor this fruity vintage while I savor the spectacle of your fruitless debate on the matter. Here's to the truth coming out, eventually.
Okay.
That's enough preamble. Counsel, proceed with the summation examination.
Alright, let's do it.
Yes, my lord.
Defense's rebuttal. Okay, once a rogue, always a rogue. Let's press.
Hold it!
Just because Miss Lestrade has a history of pickpocketing, she must be guilty of murder. Is that what you're saying?
Well,
Are all members of the British Army so quick to judge?
I beg your pardon? Are you mocking Her Majesty's Armed Forces? The greatest military organization in the world.
No, I'm simply illustrating my point.
Ugh.
Making assumptions about people because they're a soldier or a pickpocket is wrong and dangerous.
Huh. Well, yes, you might have a point there, I suppose. But let's not forget the girl had already shown she had it in her from before. She's clearly a criminal sort through and through. Can't deny it.
When you say that she'd shown she had it in her, are you referring to this?
Exactly. Tried to swipe that only a day earlier, huh? Or am I mistaken?
Not exactly. Given that I was actually there at the time, it's hard to refute that.
I've never actually seen the real thing. I can't wait to have a closer look at it.
Oh yes, of course.
That was a hint, but we literally just looked at it, so... Hey, Sherlock, long time no see, dude.
Mr. Holmes did use his caramel bars to make a copy of the disc, didn't he? And then ordered every type of music box he could find from across Europe.
We still don't know what tune it plays, though, do we?
I have a feeling it's not music. I have a feeling it's actually recording of some kind of conversation. Which back then was probably very rare, you know, to have that kind of thing.
But I'd love to see how the original compares to Shirley's copy.
The gilded disc. It'd be a clue somehow. Perhaps we should examine it in more detail.
Hey, I already did. But thanks for the little hint. Okay, let's press her.
Hold it!
It's the number of bullets that has you convinced.
Only 2 bullets were fired, and the 2 guns that fired them have been examined by the police. When the parlor maid asks me how many are invited for dinner, I always tell her to count the table settings.
Well, that's logical, I suppose.
Although,
Yes?
sometimes after dining, crockery does go missing. 1 or 2 guests rather like the fine china.
Does your employer dine with thieves?
So I suppose, if there was another bullet somewhere of which we were unaware, I'd have to reconsider my position.
Okay, that's definitely what's gonna happen.
A 3rd bullet somewhere on the scene. Could that be possible?
I don't think I can prove it yet.
Unfortunately, only 2 bullets were discovered by the police during their investigation.
Yes, I know.
Right.
And I don't imagine the good men of Scotland Yard would have overlooked anything. If I missed a bullet while I was cleaning his lordship's office, well, I should receive a sound scolding, I don't doubt.
And he should receive a visit from the police, perhaps. Sounds like a crime scene to me.
Ah, a 3rd bullet!
It would completely turn things around if there was one, wouldn't it?
Do you think we might find one lying around somewhere?
We'll see. Don't need a stereoscope.
Hold it!
Is there something we have to look at like that again?
So if I've understood correctly, you need 2 pictures, a left eye one and a slightly different right eye one.
Exactly. Then you can see the scene in 3 dimensions, like this.
So if we have 2 bullets, I don't suppose you can see anything useful with them.
I think you'll find that no matter how much you squint, the truth of the situation always looks the same here. The only person who could have shot the victim is that girl in the dock.
How could you be so sure of that?
Think about it. The Skulkin brothers shot the great detective, didn't they?
Yes, that's been mentioned once or twice.
Well then, surely it's coming into focus now, isn't it?
This is a waste of time. I'm not going to change this this man's mind anytime soon.
Okay. I feel like I need to get more information from you.
Hold it!
Finally.
Would you please stop muttering about things that have nothing to do with this trial, sir? The defendant's life is on the line here.
Well, the thing is, I couldn't really say that it is nothing to do with this trial, to be honest.
Huh?
Yes, finally.
I mean, there's no question that the man was shot, but the bullet has simply vanished from his stomach.
You're talking about Sherlock. So then where's his bullet?
It's quite inexplicable, don't you think?
Here we go.
I almost don't want to ask, but this surgery you've been muttering about all this time, you were operating on...
What was the fellow's name now? Herlick? No, Herlock? No, Sherlock? Hairlock? Sherlock, yeah.
Sherlock Holmes, by any chance?
Yes, good lord!
Oh, his eyes.
It was that Hairlock fellow!
What? You're the surgeon that operated on Mr. Holmes.
Yay, his music. I miss it.
That's right, using the very latest anesthesia techniques, I might add. It was a fairly major op, I can tell you.
Hey, what about, HIPAA? HIPAA violation. I guess technically maybe this was before HIPAA, so...
This is crazy.
Let me see, the fellow was brought in not long after midnight, if I remember correctly. They said he'd been shot by some criminal or other, so I opened him up like a shot. But the funny thing is, I went over his insides with a fine-tooth comb and couldn't find the bullet anywhere.
Huh.
So I'm afraid I had to throw up my hands and just stitch the fellow back up.
I hate to state the obvious, but
Yes?
surely that's because the bullet is still at the scene of the shooting. The counsel for the defense is correct, as is clearly shown in this photographic print.
No, but first of all, now we know because of the color of the blood that is not from Sherlock. And also the angle now is proof because they're saying Sherlock got shot in the stomach. But this one is high up, so like probably through a shoulder?
The bullet that the Skulkin brothers fired at Mr. Holmes hit him in the stomach region, then exited his body and lodged into the shop wall where the calendar was hanging by the door. I think you'll find it's really quite simple if you just consider the problem three-dimensionally.
Ha! Who do you think I am, son?
Well, juror number 4 is about the best I can do.
As soon as I saw the wound to the man's stomach, I flipped him over.
Like a pancake?
No, that means there's no exit wound.
Are you saying that you checked his back?
Of course I did, and there wasn't a trace of injury. No sign that the bullet had left the body at all.
Oh boy.
What?
That's the point. The only logical conclusion was that the bullet was still somewhere in the man's innards. Which is exactly why I set about slicing him up. And I'm still none the wiser, even now. How many times do I have to say it?
Where the hell did the bullet go?
Can somebody please explain how it happened? Could somebody please solve the mystery?
And that also proves even more that that bullet was not from him, so...
It's almost as much of a mystery as how this jury was put together.
Uh-huh.
The mystery of where that bullet ended up is infuriating. Where's an expert when you need one?
Ah. Got it. Got it. Let me press before I continue. Because it has to be him with the expert of guns over here.
Hold it!
What do you mean you're in for a busy day?
Forgot to say, stop. Do you excuse me? Stop. I am a communications officer. Stop.
A communications officer? Does that have something to do with sending telegrams?
Everything from personal messages written by members of the public to the latest news in the capital. I convert all the messages into Morse code and tap it out to the entire world electronically.
To the entire world.
Thousands of miles of cable under the sea. Stop. Worldwide communication network. Stop. Information transmitted to and from all the corners of the globe. Stop.
She looks excited.
Ah, yes. She was getting equally worked up about radio waves or the like before, wasn't she?
I specialize in communicating information from government departments and newspaper offices.
I see.
So that means you're connected to what was in the newspaper, right? Something about the leak that's going on? Are you the spy? Do we have a spy in our midst?
I'm sure I shall have to wire the newspaper reports of today's guilty verdict later. So, no sleep for me tonight, I imagine.
Let's just finish the trial first, shall we?
Okay. Now let's get to this guy. We'll press him before we pit him.
Hold it!
I thought you were just a tourist.
Good day. I am visiting London for sightseeing. I would like to take bus to Crystal Tower, please.
There's no way he's just a visiting.
Tourist.
So, you're a ballistics expert. Who knew?
I have much experience with guns.
Ah,
I have lived through many, how do you say, extreme, violent path of, no, blood of,
Extreme violent bloodbaths, perhaps?
those extreme violent bloodbaths. English is very difficult tongue.
considering the sort of people you associate with, I'm surprised you still have a tongue.
Oh, spicy.
Anyway, if you have questions about bullets and guns, you ask me. There is nothing I do not know. No mystery I cannot solve.
How convenient.
He's very confident in his knowledge of guns, that's for sure.
But if possible, please only in Russian language.
He's not very confident in his knowledge of English, though, is he?
No, still, we should bear it in mind. He's our man if there's a mystery about guns or bullets.
Okay.
Van Zeeks has managed to convince everyone.
When you have eliminated the impossible, he said. But he hasn't.
If we're going to fight back, we need more material. We have to fight back. We have to turn this trial around again.
Alright, let's do it. Okay. We're going to pit you. And the expert over here.
Objection!
Those two statements clearly contradict. The idea that all I do is pit jurors against each other.
Oh, a ballistics expert.
Pitting. P-I-T-T.
On the night in question, Mr. Holmes was shot by one of the Skulkin brothers. But since there was no sign of an exit wound on his back, you must assume the bullet didn't pass through him. However, no bullet was found lodged in Mr. Holmes's body either. Furthermore, a bullet was found lodged in the wall of the shop where Mr. Holmes was shot. Juror number 6.
Hello, my name is Villain. Pleased to meet you.
This apparent contradiction in the facts that is so clearly troubling juror number 4. Are you able to explain the mystery?
Is he able to understand it enough?
I have seen very similar situation in Motherland.
Ah,
It was night. There was blizzard. I was running away along mountain road in freezing cold.
Golly.
The snow was piling high on both sides of road. It was very narrow and dangerous. My pursuers had hunting rifles and they were on dog sleds.
Mental note, don't ask too many questions.
I was shot from behind and I fell down in snow. And the situation was very similar to what I hear today from doctor. They could not find bullet in my body. And no sign of, how do you say, exit wound.
Then where did the bullet go?
Bullet never hit me.
Oh? But you were injured, right?
Well, if it...
Oh, sorry, wrong.
Well, if it never hit you, why did you fall down?
Bullet hit frozen wall of ice, very close to my side.
What?
One small piece, very sharp, broke away from lump of ice and pierced my body.
Ah. So it's almost like getting hit by shrapnel? Like a debris, a particle. So he got injured, but he didn't get shot. Got it. So something like that happened to Sherlock then? I mean, it was bad enough that he was, injured and needed surgery. But then where's the bullet? It must be in the shop still, right?
It made deep wound that looks just like bullet wound.
Good gracious.
Of course, piece of ice quickly melted inside me.
Ah.
And that is solution to mystery of disappearing bullet.
Interesting. But there's no ice.
But that doesn't answer the question at all.
Huh?
The shooting happened in a pawnbroker's shop. Not some snowy mountain road in another country.
Just an idea, but we might not be looking at exactly the same scenario here.
Reno, where exactly was Shelley shot again?
Well, according to the report, in his stomach. Sort of around this area, I think.
Well, that's precisely where he always wears a little pouch on his belt.
Oh, so is it like, did it get caught in like the metal? Something metal in his belt?
A pouch. Actually, I might have noticed something like that.
Yes, a pouch. It's where he keeps 3 glass vials of very dangerous chemicals that he uses in his investigations.
Wait, he's carrying around dangerous chemicals in glass? That's stupid. He could have gotten killed.
What? Really? Doctor, where's the pouch Mr. Holmes was wearing?
I mean, the doctor shouldn't even have it.
Huh? Well, the fellow had nothing like that on his person when he arrived at the hospital, as far as I remember.
If I may,
Lord Von Zeeks?
well, I realize it is forbidden for the prosecution to interject during a summation examination. I should inform the defense that I have the pouch in question in the antechamber outside the courtroom.
Oh, you're being helpful.
Sorry?
As I understand it, when the police arrived on the scene and found Mr. Holmes injured, they removed the pouch in order to assess the wound.
Ah, thank goodness. I thought I was getting forgetful for a moment.
Since then, it has been in my safekeeping, along with all other evidence relating to the case. I can personally vouch for the fact that it has not been touched since the incident occurred.
Very well. While extremely unconventional during a summation examination, I must demand the prosecution presents the item in question with all speed. Bring forth Mr. Sherlock Holmes's pouch.
There we go. We're gonna find the bullet now.
Ah, I see. So this is the pouch worn by Mr. Holmes on the night in question, is it?
So one of the vials is broken. I see it.
Look at that! One of the files
They say files instead of vials.
is broken, and the leather around it is scorched black. It's almost as if the file exploded. Exploded. So that night, the bullet from the Skulkin brothers' gun struck Mr. Holmes's pouch.
And it was the glass vial exploding that caused the fellow's injury.
Yep, that makes sense. Ah.
This bullet did not penetrate victim, but was deflected into wall of shop.
Van Six is like, well, shit.
A delightfully complex aroma.
Well, it would appear one mystery has been solved at least.
Though it has no bearing on the truth of this case.
No! Come on, you're smart enough. You should realize it does. That means there's a third bullet and there's a third gun. And somebody else was shot. Somebody who has not been brought to this courtroom yet.
The bungling and burgling brothers shot the detective, and the accused shot the pawnbroker. The pertinent facts of their case remain unaltered.
Ugh.
But at least the mystery is solved. I can sleep easy tonight. Thank you, young man.
Da, thank you very much.
Glad I could help. Due to its bearing on the conundrum just solved, the court will sequester this scruffy pouch as evidence.
Shirley's pouch isn't scruffy.
Alright.
Now the submission examination. It would appear the defense is somewhat struggling to alter opinion, huh? Please, my lord, a little more time. After all, that's a new piece of evidence. It could be a valuable clue, and you can't afford to overlook anything here, Ryunosuke. There's still a way to turn this around, somehow. I'm sure of it.
Give us time. Alright. I'm very sure we're going to use it against what juror number 2 said about if there was a third bullet. But we're going to do that in the next episode. Thank you guys so very much for watching. I hope you're enjoying this. And until next time, have a nice day. Bye!